Hello, and welcome to Sideways. This week, we're talking about the effects of trying to deal with too much stress for too long, and why it can affect you emotionally and physically. Martin has news about the outbreak of World War III. We wonder about post-apocalyptic football, and there's a conundrum involving cat shit. Burnout.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I wondered if you were going to slip into good morning.
No, I've adjusted accordingly.
Well
it looks
done.
like you're set up in a different room now as well.
Oh, I am at the moment. It's just because I couldn't be bothered to lug all the equipment.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a bit sunny in here for me.
Yeah.
You know how I am with the sun. I'm a bit like Dracula.
Yeah, I can see you sort of squinting.
Yeah.
It's directly coming in your
I've got
in
the
your window
blind.
at you.
I've got the blind down, but it is particularly bright today, isn't it? Even inadvertently, we've ended up on the weather.
We have, yes. Well, yeah, it's sorry to start a bit later today, but you know how it is.
You couldn't be bothered, could you? You were too busy being slightly poorly.
I've been poorly for a couple of days, so I needed a bit of extra time to sort my notes out and all that.
How are you feeling now?
Not too bad, actually.
Because the listener will be concerned about you, no doubt.
My well-being, yeah, I'm sure,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit croaky, but I'm all right. I'm on the mend.
Good. Well, I'm pleased to hear it. I'm pleased that you turned a corner.
Thank you, mate. Well, I'll tell you what I want to talk about today, then.
Go on, then.
I want to talk about burnout.
Oh, do you think that's what happened to you? Do you think that's why you've been poorly?
No, it's not that. I did think that would be a natural link to make, but no, it's not that. But it is something. It's been on our list for a while, actually.
Who put it on the list? Do you remember?
I think I did at some point.
Well done. Good topic.
It is a good topic, and it's something I've come across numerous times over the years when I've talked to people about some of the contributory factors.
Yeah,
their journey into addiction. It's a wonder we haven't talked about it before, but just haven't really got round to it.
But actually, that's interesting because I've not really thought about that so much. I mean, I have worked and worked with a lot of people who have suffered burnout, but I don't kind of naturally make that link between burnout and addiction. But of course, yeah, you're right. This is a strong one.
There is. So what I wanted to talk about really is to define what it is. What causes it, and then how to mitigate the effects. So that's the structure of what I wanted to talk about. But before we start, as suspected, my daughter has responded to the conundrum feature you introduced last week.
Yeah,
about whether you should tell people if their art is rubbish or not.
Yeah.
Now, as an art teacher, obviously, it's her job to get the best out of her pupils. And she very much uses the nurturing angle and encourages self-reflection. If she thinks it might be a bit below par, a bit like you therapists, throw it back on them, say, well, what do you think about it?
That's actually, I think, if I remember rightly, that's where I ended up, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it probably was.
I said, I think what I would say if someone asked me what I thought of it, I'd ask them how they thought of it because, if you're happy with it, then that's enough, isn't it?
It is. She also uses the same system if someone is really unhappy with their work and want to throw it away. So it can be used from both angles there. But I knew she would be saying that, but I thought it's nice to get it confirmed. She did also confirm that she got the Daft Punk question right last week as well.
I think that means she got more points than me then, does she?
Yeah, she guessed it 2013, so she got it on the nose.
Very good. Have you ever been so unhappy with a piece of artwork that you've wanted to throw it away?
Yeah, lots of times.
Have you actually thrown it away?
No.
I wonder what the dividing line then is between an urge to throw something away because you're unhappy with it and actually doing it. I wonder what goes on in that space.
I don't know. If for me, I just I walk away from it, do something else, come back and leave it. Sometimes I'd never go back to it, but often I'll go back and make adjustments later on down the line.
Yeah, there's something quite sinister about throwing away something you've created, I think.
I think it's just, I see it as a waste of resources. So at the very worst, I'd repaint the canvas or something.
Right, okay, yeah, fair dues.
Yeah.
I remember a man on the Great British Bake Off one year. He was very unhappy with his cheesecake or something, and he threw it in the bin in a fit of pique.
Did he?
And it's one of the it still stands as one of the funniest moments of any series.
I know how that must feel. Certainly, I felt that with art. But in other news, an astrologer says that World War III is due to start on June the 18th, which is a bit of a nuisance.
Isn't that just after the Euros start?
I know it's going to interfere with the Euros, isn't it?
I wonder which fixture there is that day, because I expect that will be cancelled.
I meant to look it up, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah. So I don't think there's a great deal. Well, he reckons it's something to do with the planetary stimulus.
Right. Okay.
What that means is I don't know. But
did he say what time it was going to kick off on that day?
No, I think it's quite accurate enough just to get the day. But he didn't say a time.
While we're talking, I'll look it up. I'll tell you which fixture there is on the 18th, and then we'll know which one we're going to miss. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad because it's Turkey v Georgia and Portugal v Czechia. So,
okay,
we're not going to miss too much, are we? There.
Well, we'll miss the rest of the tournament, obviously. But
it might. You don't know. Maybe it'll stay. I mean, these days with nuclear weapons, mind you, I suppose post-nuclear apocalypse, there probably won't be much football, will there?
No, there won't be. There certainly won't be much to cheer about. Anyway, I'll throw that in there just in case it does end on June the 18th.
Will you be putting a wager on it?
No.
I don't know how you get paid. How would you get paid out?
You couldn't, could you really, if it is an apocalypse?
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
I'm going to keep the money in my pocket, but
we'll keep a watching brief on that, shall we?
We will. But if anyone could throw any further light on what a planetary stimulus is, because it sounds complete bollocks to me. But there we go.
I thought you were going to ask if anyone could throw any further light on whether or not World War III was going to start. I was imagining that you must think Vladimir Putin listens to this podcast.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, so it's
possible,
potential. Yeah,
possible. Yeah.
Anyway, the definition of burnout. We get on the subject matter, and I'll read this out. Burnout is a state of emotional, mental, and often physical exhaustion brought on by prolonged or repeated stress. Though it is most often caused by problems at work, it can also appear in other areas of life, such as parenting, caretaking, or romantic relationships. Yeah. And I've seen problems stem from that's led to addiction issues. So it's all very relevant. So the first one is, so we dealt with what is it, and I want to look at what causes it. It's not simply a result of working long hours or juggling too many tasks. I think it's very much associated with work, isn't it? And although those do both play quite a role, you find that the cynicism, depression, and lethargy that are characteristics of burnout most often occur when a person is not in control of how a job is to be carried out. That could be work or at home, or they're asked to complete tasks that conflict with their sense of self. So I suppose if you're not believing in what you're doing, or it's at odds, you're doing a job which is at odds with your belief system, I can imagine that's going to increase the stress and therefore increase the chances of burnout, isn't it? Or bring it on a bit quicker. Yeah,
I mean, it is essentially too much stress for too long, burnout.
Yeah.
So it is possible that it will come about just because you're overworked. But I think it's also true to say that other factors will probably influence that. So, for example, if you're not overworked, but you don't ever receive any validation or encouragement or feedback, that could be enough as well. So, there are lots of different factors, but I think, yes, it's in excess of stress for long periods.
But it also it lists a sort of a mountain of mental and physical problems that can often occur as well.
Yeah.
Including physical ones like headaches and fatigue.
Yeah.
Heartburn, apparently, as well. Other gastronomical symptoms. And as well as a high increase in the potential for alcohol, drug, or food misuse.
Yeah.
There it is right there in the research.
Yeah, because it's a strategy that people use to get away from their feelings, isn't it?
It is.
If you feel overwhelmed, in any situation in life, whether it's at work or in your relationship or whatever else, then that might seem to you to be a useful strategy.
Yeah, I think food misuse. Do you come across that? Is there someone that's misusing food like that as a?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's about comfort eating, isn't it?
Yeah.
So eating bad food or eating too much food or relying on food when you feel stressed or anxious just to make yourself feel better. So, yeah, I do experience that in clients.
Okay. The next bit I want to look at really is to what are the key signs? How do you know if you're burning out or if you're burned out? And physical and mental exhaustion we've already touched on, but it goes into things like a sense of dread about work, and these frequent feelings of cynicism, anger, or irritability are all key signs as well. I suppose that's they're all related to stress, aren't they? And how that is coming out. That
feeling of overwhelm tends to follow a reasonably set pattern where you might feel quite enthusiastic at the start, and then you might start to feel tired and exhausted, but nothing seems to be happening. And then you start to lose your will to go to work and your enthusiasm, and you're kind of ambivalent about it. And you've got a kind of fuck it attitude.
Yeah.
And so if you're kind of seeing your mood take that sort of trajectory, I think that tends to be quite a good indicator that you're either in the midst of burnout or at risk of it.
Yeah. And that seems to be prevalent more in certain career paths, certain job choices, as it were. Professions such as those in the helping era, well, like doctors, for example,
or therapists.
I think that dwindling compassion towards those in your care, I think, seems to be a real key sign, and feeling that you can no longer do your job effectively. Also signal, burnout's on its way.
The importance of self-care is central to that, isn't it? So,
it is, and I want to come on to that. Yeah.
Okay. So if you work for the NHS, for example, these days, one of the things that prevents your self-care is the expectation placed on you.
Yeah.
Whereas if let's say you're in another helping profession, let's say you're a therapist and you work in private practice, then actually you've got responsible for your self-care. So if you get to the point there where you feel like exhausted, then, sometimes you have to kind of have a look at yourself and you think, am I saying, am I taking on too much work? Am I taking on work that I'm, not really set up to do? And so I think there is a question there about whether responsibility lies with your employer or whether it lies with you or somewhere in between. Part of the reason that burnout seems to be more prevalent these days is because employers seem to be expecting more for less, with less support.
Yeah.
And if you put those factors together, then it's a recipe for burnout disaster.
But that was the other forms that I came across. I briefly mentioned parental burnout.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Relationship.
Single parental burnout. I should think that must be very common.
Single parental burnout. Relationship burnout. Which again, I'll touch on again in a minute. And caregiver burnout, which I've come across quite a lot. Again, people that are in that situation where they're particularly looking after elderly parents.
Yeah, all those areas are all about keeping healthy boundaries.
They are, yeah. And I'll come on to that a little bit. We're dealing with burnout, but this is sort of symptoms and areas of burnout that came up in the research. But I found that caring for a child with special needs seems to come up quite a lot as well.
Yeah,
that can hasten burnout.
Mm-hmm.
And what it's like when children are very young, when you're getting no sleep. And if that goes on for a number of months or even years, how burnt out you can feel with that and how short-tempered you can get. It is, it's one to be keeping an eye on. But relationship burnout was quite a new one on me. But when you think about it, that's quite normal, I'd have thought. Well, I'm not saying quite normal, but it can happen quite a lot, can't it?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about the conditions under which that happens. I mean, that's where you've got issues in your relationship and you're not dealing with them.
Yeah, when there's no communication. when it's just left to
or it's negative communication.
Or it's negative communication all the time. And you might be struggling with it for an awful long time, and you start to burn out with it. You start to have less impetus, less motivation, perhaps to sort it out. You're just sticking with it.
Yeah.
Which again can lead on to drink and drug use, because you're staying within the system that you're in.
Yeah.
You're alleviating the effects that it's having on you.
Yeah, I mean that's to some extent a fear of change, isn't it? When you think this is shit, but I don't know what it's like not being here, so I'll just stay here and have a drink.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And I've known people that have made their only way to keep their sanity there is to sort of make plans going forward. And I remember someone, I won't say who they are, but they had actually created themselves a little running away fund. Mm-hmm. They started to save up money to do that, because their relationship had sort of burnt out. And in fact, his spouse predeceased him in the end, so he didn't have to use his running away fund. But it always made me laugh. I did laugh about it, I suppose, but it was because it came to light later on down the line.
I think that's probably more common than people might realise. I can think of quite a few people I've worked with over the years who've had a running away fund.
Have they?
Yeah, or they're thinking about. But and actually, part of what's really sad about that is it is an illustration of a feeling of being stuck.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to prepare for something in the future, even though I'm really suffering now.
Yeah.
Never mind a fund, that's going to help you in the future. What are you going to do right now that's going to help you?
Yeah.
Because it is an absence of something to help you now that will leave you ultimately in a state of burnout.
It is, but it's also distracting, isn't it, from the real issues? So you don't have to think about the real issues.
Yeah.
You can have the eye on something else, which helps to alleviate the pressure.
But that's a recognised stage of burnout, when you get ambivalent about it and you lose your motivation to do anything about it. And you just start looking at other areas of your life.
Yeah.
It's just because you're ignoring it doesn't mean it's going away.
No, it doesn't. But the next bit I wanted to go on to was dealing with burnout. It describes it as a feeling like running out of gas. And when I read that, it instantly reminded me of Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager, who's just come to the end of a 9-year tenure at Liverpool. Highly stressed 9 years, as any football manager's job is. And he said it simply felt like he'd run out of gas.
Yeah, well, he's moving at the right time then, isn't he?
And you like to think not only is he moving at the right time for himself, well, I suppose it is for himself, but he's getting out while the going's still good. He's still got plenty of other options available. He's probably a rich man anyway, doesn't need to work. He's probably at an age where he doesn't need to do so, but everything's fallen into place for him, hasn't it, really? He's had a successful tenure, and it's time to go, because he feels like he's burning out. And I'd imagine if he'd stayed on for an extra year, or or two, he would find that he'd start to get all these symptoms of burnout.
Well, that's what happens to people. They get to the point where they think, I'm really struggling here, but I just got to push a bit harder. Yeah. That's typically what happens when people are feeling burnt out.
Yeah.
Their response to feeling burnt out is completely counter to the answer.
Yeah.
So you think, I'm getting behind, I'll just push a bit harder. And of course that's fatal. Well, not literally fatal, but it's fatal in terms of...
I suppose it could do. Could be.
It could be, yeah.
So if it does trigger physical symptoms, you end up with a heart attack and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Yes, but so that's one way of dealing with burnout. You can quit your job, like Jurgen has. But there's probably safer options, or there's options that you can perhaps a little bit less catastrophic, like setting the boundaries, as you said earlier on. But although expressing your concerns and talking to the people at work, talking to your boss, and not letting it fester for too long, but letting them know you've got issues and you need to perhaps take a change of direction.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult, because if it gets us to the point where you started to lose your motivation and your enthusiasm, then that makes it doubly difficult to talk to anyone about it, because you just think to yourself, I don't give a shit about it anyway.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So you've got to get in early.
So otherwise you get that fight or flight, don't you? Think your fight starts to go, so you run away.
Yeah, you just don't care anymore. Once you've reached the point where you don't care, then any strategy that is designed to help pull you out of that difficult situation has then become, much difficult by, significant degree.
Yeah, no, I can see it. So it makes it doubly hard. But setting boundaries, if it is a work-related burnout you're facing, like trying to say no to when new tasks are put at your door, which again is very tricky to do. But setting the boundaries of where you are, I think, and having that communication, I think is essential, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tricky to do, but I always say to people, there are only two ways of dealing with burnout. You've either got to do less work or find more energy.
Yeah.
And by far the best solution is both.
Yeah.
So part of why saying no is so important is that by pushing back, you create for yourself a little bit of space. And it's also important to be able to use your time away from work to recharge your batteries. So one of the problems that people have when they start to feel burnt out is they don't want to do anything when they're not at work. So they might be at work long hours, but even if they're not, when they get home, they feel so exhausted, they just want to, go to bed.
Yeah.
But of course, there's nothing then that's happening in your life that's recharging your batteries. So you have to, the greater the extent to which you can stay in touch with the people that you care about and who care about you, and carry on doing the interests and pastimes that you've got, and really make a proper, healthy separation between work and home life, that gives you the opportunity to build your levels of energy, which means you are more resilient when you are at work, and you're more likely to be able to do these things that help you to reduce your workload, like talking to your boss or saying no. The other thing about saying no is sometimes people think that no is, we've said before, haven't we? No is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
But when it comes to burnout, I think it's worth remembering that no doesn't necessarily have to mean never.
No,
it might just
exactly.
mean I can't do it at the moment. I've got too much on.
Yeah.
You're asking for it by Friday. I can give it to you by, a fortnight on Friday or whatever it is. So, and I think the ability to think, more broadly like that starts to desert us when we feel burnt out as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. But it comes down to certain things like about, checking not checking your emails outside of work, and
correct. Yeah,
and making sure you take your lunch hour.
Yeah,
things like that, isn't it? Keep those boundaries, because they can very easily get lost into the midst of what you're trying to do.
Turn notifications off. They're a scourge, because even if you discipline yourself not to check email, if you've got notifications and you're on something like Slack or something like that, then you'll see a message come up, and if you start checking those things away when you're away from work, then that just takes you straight back emotionally into that space that is draining you of all your energy.
Which is why the work-life balance is such an important aspect, isn't it?
Yep.
And that self-care you touched on, an adequate downtime, is where hobbies are really important there, aren't they? So
massively.
You already mentioned it, and even though you got it in before my notes, I'm glad you did, because I think it illustrates it as an important aspect of it, isn't it? That you're not just going away and doing nothing. Having hobbies, which do re-energize you, don't they?
I do. It's that, having a proper, solid self-care regime, including getting enough sleep and rest, eating properly and healthily, getting some exercise, staying in touch with your friends and your interests. All of those things are the things that recharge you. And when you're burning out, you need recharging. I mean, people say, I can't stop or I can't push back because I've got so much work to do. And my response to that is always, well, if you don't push back, you're going to be physically ill, and then you won't be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's not a long-term solution.
No, quite.
Keep pushing harder and harder and harder, because in the end you're going to collapse. And the same is true of trying to make yourself feel better with drink and drugs. I mean, that's not a long-term solution, is it?
No, it isn't. No, it's a very short-term one with long-term implications.
Exactly.
But the next point just was asking for help, and I think is our old friend being brave enough to ask for help, especially if you're having burnout with caring for children or for elderly parents. Yeah. I think it's really important that I think again people will take it all on themselves. and not ask for help at the appropriate times.
Definitely. And, just sharing how you're feeling with someone that you trust sometimes is enough. It's not, I've heard people say things like, well, no one else can do anything. Yeah, it's not really about someone doing something. It's about you feeling heard and validated. Yeah. And someone being able to emotionally support you. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you've got something that you've got to deal with that no one else can deal with. But that doesn't mean that you won't benefit from some sort of emotional support.
That's why I need a good therapist, don't they? That can help in that.
Get a therapist. You could talk to a therapist. But I think for most people, most people have got someone around them that they could confide in. And when you reach that stage of burnout, people tend to close up.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk to anyone. So it's like you're cutting off all of these possibilities for making things better because you feel so lethargic and you've kind of emotionally checked out.
And the last thing I wanted to say, I've got a couple of quotes to finish with, but just a last little point on that about helping with burnout was spending time in nature.
Yeah.
Our old friend again.
Yeah.
Can't beat it, can you? There's such a lot of therapeutic benefits of doing so.
Yeah.
And I know you do it on a daily basis, don't you?
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yeah, I mean, that's as I said earlier, part of good self-care is getting some exercise. And one of the best forms of exercise, just go outside for a walk.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the gym. Just get outside and, listen to the birds and look at what's happening in the world. It's a good way of stabilizing yourself.
It is, and it's free.
It is free, yeah.
And it is nice. And I think again we talked about it before. I think COVID taught us. It certainly taught me the benefits of that, which is why I still do much walking as I possibly can. That clears my head.
Yeah.
Takes away any stresses. Just a walk down by the river, job done. Lovely.
Yeah.
And a couple of quotes then to finish with regarding self-care. Really, the first one is: self-care is your fuel. Whatever the road ahead or the path you've taken, self-care is what keeps your motor running and your wheels turning.
That's what I just said. Yeah,
you
absolutely.
did.
Totally on board with that one. If you've got to the stage where you've burned out, whether it's because you haven't kept good enough healthy boundaries or whether they've been kind of imposed upon you, haven't had the strength to resist, self-care is definitely going to be part of the way back.
Yeah, I agree. So that's the building block, isn't it? Or the major building block of mitigating the effects of burnout.
Definitely.
And the other one was: when you're at peace with yourself and love yourself, it is virtually impossible to do things to yourself that are destructive. Which I like that one, because we often talk about that in groups, about you getting that point in your recovery, you start to like yourself and love yourself again. Much more likely not to go back to those destructive behaviours, because there's something worth, you're starting to value yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't treat someone that you love badly, would you?
No, you wouldn't. Exactly right.
So if you love yourself, then you're going to do everything you can to treat yourself properly.
Yeah. So I thought that was a nice one to round it up with, really.
Very good.
If that's okay with you, unless there's anything else you wanted to put in at this point.
Can't think of anything.
I've covered the points I wanted to.
Yeah, that's all right. That's enough for me.
So should we go on to the conundrum feature then?
Yeah, I'm just gonna find you this week's question.
This week's question. I've been writing these down as well.
Have you? So we'll go with this one.
Okay.
If next door's cats shit in your raised beds, is it okay to put the shit back over your neighbour's fence?
Well, this is coming from personal experience here, by the sound of things, isn't it?
Well, certainly next door's cats do shit in my raised beds, but I'm not disclosing whether I put the shit back over their fence.
Is it? No, of course not. I would say I wouldn't put it back over the fence. No.
Well, how would you respond then with constant?
Well, I mean, it's the cat's fault.
Constant feline secretions.
It's not
in amongst your carrots.
It's the cat that's doing it. It's not the owner.
Yeah, it's hard to hold a cat to account, though, isn't it?
It is hard. Yeah, it is. Which is why you just got to let it go. It's an animal.
You just got to suck it up, not literally. Obviously.
Yeah, you have. You just got to clear it up and bag it up, throw it away, or whatever, or dig it, mulch it in. Whatever you want to deal with it.
I don't know if it's terribly good for the soil, is it? What happens if your dogs eat it?
Well, I don't know. Do they?
Yeah, they love it. Absolutely love it. They do.
do they? Well, see, I mean,
which makes me doubly angry.
Which is going to cause ag with your neighbours, isn't it, if you start flinging it back over? Especially if they're out sunbathing, it suddenly plops on their chest. They're not going to be happy, are they?
Well, if they're asleep, they might wake up and think that one of their cats just had a shat on their chest.
So I'd say no, but you're not going to say either way on that one?
Oh, no, I mean, I haven't done that, but the reason I put it on the list is because I very often feel like it. I sort of think, oh, for God's sake, not again.
Yeah, I
have this, almost irresistible instinct to just lob it back over. I mean, that's the thing about cats, isn't it? They never seem to want to use the facilities in their own garden. What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know if it's something that's innate within them. They're setting out territory. I don't know.
Or whether it is really,
or they just can't be asked. There's probably no thought process behind it, is there?
I think I might.
Will they fancy it?
I think perhaps what I'll do is I'll make a little gap in the fence and let the dogs go next door to have a poo in the neighbour's garden. Then probably I'll feel a little bit less aggrieved by it all. I'm probably feeling particularly miffed because the slugs and snails are eating all my vegetables, and if they're not eating my vegetables, I'm finding cat shit in amongst them. So I might just go to Aldi and buy some vegetables.
Much easier. But you touched on the slug issues. I thought you'd got that under control.
No, I thought I had, but I think they were lulling me into a false sense of security.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. They're back with a vengeance, are they?
Yeah, they are. I don't know what the answer is really.
Well,
I was in the park this morning. I was walking the dogs in the park this morning. I was thinking, you never see snails and slugs in the park. I don't know why they don't just go up the park.
Yeah,
they've all got to live in my garden. It's not fair.
Because there's some nice lush stuff to eat.
I'm going to plant some carrots up the park and see what happens.
Well, you can distract them, I suppose. Yeah, but
take them up there.
So they're not going in your slug pub. I mean, that's outrageous. Well,
yeah, some of them have gone in the slug pub. I mean, yeah, they do fall in there, and I suppose it's quite a nice way to go.
Well, yeah, I suppose that I don't know if there's a good. Yeah, the worst way is when having salt poured over you.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't really like killing them because they're creatures, aren't they? They've got as much right to. I defend their right to be here. But I just wish they wouldn't eat all of my vegetables.
No, I
don't mind them eating some.
But
they're just selfish, aren't they?
Yeah, you can share. There's shares, isn't there? If they're overindulging, they are part of the. They're part of the ecosystem, so you have to give them a bit of credit.
What I need is hedgehogs. Apparently, hedgehogs eat a lot of slugs, but there isn't. I don't think there's an easy way for hedgehogs to get into the garden.
No, they're on the wane as well, aren't they?
Anyway, there we are. That's what this week's Spring Watch.
Springy. We'll move on to our gratitude list then.
Yeah, I haven't thought of anything this week, so I was kind of thinking about this just before we started, and I thought because I don't think I've had this one before, and it is genuine, although it probably sounds a bit trite. But this week I'm just going to be grateful to be alive. I think.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's. I still count myself lucky on that.
Yeah. I was reading something this morning written by someone who is an end of life doula.
All right.
And so obviously that was about death, and I was thinking. That's a decent thing to be pleased about.
I think so.
Wake up, have another day, and it's a bonus, isn't it?
I see every day as a bonus. Yeah, I think it helps you come to terms, even feeling a bit down. So at least you've got this day to feel a bit down about. There's another day around the corner which you're going to feel a bit better anyway. So yeah. Well, mine's straightforward. Mine is Lemsip. I'm grateful for that because it's got me back on my feet today. Having spent Friday and Saturday, the majority of Saturday in bed, getting up Saturday afternoon to watch the cup final, getting some Lemsip in, and then had some more today, and I'm feeling much better, much more.
It is vile, though, isn't it, Lemsip?
Oh, it's horrible.
It's
horrible. It is horrible. But I was thinking that it seems to be that if it's horrible, you feel like it's doing you more good.
There's probably some research supporting that.
Is there?
I think so, yeah. The placebo effect.
Yeah, so it is a bit psychosomatic, I'd imagine. It is. If it tastes like shit, you think, at least it's doing me good.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I'm happy for that. Oh, that's basically paracetamol, but at least it gives you a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
Gets you up and running again. Because I was at the point where I was thinking, I don't know when when I'm going to feel better.
Yeah, I mean, to reading some of your texts, I thought you might be at death's door.
I felt like it. Well, I mean, having a day off work on Friday was really unlike me.
Yeah.
Having to come home from work.
I didn't realise you'd been skiving.
Yeah, I went into work on Friday morning, and I felt so shit by the time I got there. I knew when I woke up I was running a temperature, so I shouldn't really have gone.
No, you shouldn't. You were mucus trooping, weren't you?
What's that mean?
That's when you go to work when you're not fit to go to work.
Yeah, I probably was, but when I got there, I thought I'm not going to be able to see the day out. So I came home, went straight to bed, and didn't get up until Saturday afternoon.
Lazy.
It was lazy, but it's. I'm feeling, but I'm surprised. I'm feeling as well as I am, really.
Oh well done. There you go.
Anyway, we'll go on to On This Day in Music, but which year?
Yep.
Which year was House of Fun by Madness #1?
Welcome to the House of Fun. Now I've come of age.
What year?
Well, it's 80s. It's got to be 80s.
You're looking a bit like Suggs today in many ways.
It's got to be 80s. I'm not sure where in the 80s. I'm going to go late 80s, I think. I'm going to go 88.
82. So you're wrong end of the 80s, mate.
No. Cool, really? Was it 1982?
It was, yeah. I thought you'd have got in on that one.
Why? Anyway, I don't like Madness.
No, I suppose, I was into it. Again, it was with Paul. I was into Madness together. So I knew roughly what year it was going to, the years it was.
Why didn't they play at Live Aid?
Why didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Perhaps they weren't asked.
That's what threw me, you see. So I thought Madness weren't on the bill at Live Aid, so it must have been later than Live Aid because they were quite big and they probably would have played. Perhaps they weren't asked, as you say.
Yeah, not everyone got the shout, did they?
Well, we didn't, did we?
We didn't. And although we did our very own little Live Aids, didn't we?
Yeah, we played one down at we played one in Maidstone, didn't we? Did we play Lenham Aid?
We played Lenham Aid, yeah, Gillingham. We did one.
Gillingham, yeah. There you go. We played at more Live Aids than Phil Collins.
We did, yeah, not on the same day.
We only did 2. We did 3.
We did 3 Live Aids. What year was Susie Sue from Susie and the Benches? What year was she born?
Oh, what year was she born?
She was 27th of May, so she has a birthday with my younger brother.
Oh, so that's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, what year was she born, Susie Sue? 19. I'm all right so far.
You're in the, yeah, you are.
I'm going to go 58.
Oh, you get a point. 57, mate.
Hey,
so that's not bad.
Well done, me.
That is not, yeah, well done, you.
Yeah.
That was a good shout. And when did Robin Gibb die from the Bee Gees?
Oh, I get confused with which Gibb is which.
Yeah.
Did Robin have the high voice? No.
No, that was Maurice.
Oh, that's Maurice. He's still alive, isn't he? I think. Is he?
No, he's dead as well. I think it's only Barry that's left, I think, isn't it?
Oh, Robin, yes, I remember. I've got no idea, actually. I mean, they all feel, it feels as if they kind of died did they die quite close to one another? Was Robin the first to go, I wonder?
I think he was, wasn't he?
Was he? I'm going to go, it was certainly 2000s, I think. 2012.
2 points. Spot on, mate. Yes, well on you.
Yes. That is, I don't know, well, that's a complete fluke, but...
You've done rather well this week with 3 points in the bag.
If I'd seen those 3 questions, obviously I wouldn't have cheated. If I'd seen those 3 questions beforehand, I would have not forecast that I would have gotten 3 points.
No, I'd have thought you'd got more. I thought you'd have been closer with Madness, but further away with Robin Gibb. So
I came back strongly there, didn't I? After a poor start.
You did, yeah. You grew into the game.
All right, very good. I'll let you get back and have a bit of a rest then.
We'll catch up again soon.
Yep. See you soon.
Laters.
Bye. Bye. Sideways was created by Graham Landy and Martin Pankhurst. If you want to read more about our work or sort through the extensive archive of past episodes,
just visit grahamlandywellbeing.co.uk/sideways-podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Sideways Podcast, and you can email us if you have a question or if there's something you'd like us to cover. But most of all, we want to tell you how grateful we are that you come and listen, and we ask that if you've enjoyed what you've heard, that you spread the word. And we'll see you next week.